It's supposed to be creepy and all of that kind of stuff and spooky, and it's a comedy, so it can get really lost in it. But I think the depth and the groundedness that the characters sort of working through their grief in it makes it very relatable, and I think it makes this film very special, actually.
I had so much fun watching this movie, and I kind of just want to kick things off first, is that it was unexpected to me. Of course, with the trailers, you kind of get a feel. It's such a fun ensemble movie. Yeah. Like, it really feels like, I love Scooby-Doo, it's like one of my favorite things. And it kind of feels like that, like this group of people like dealing with this crazy supernatural thing. So talk to me a little bit. I imagine when you get a piece like this, you get to work on it at home, but then once you actually get to do it with all the other actors, it's gotta be fun.
I mean, wow. I feel like I manifested. I really was just like coming out of darkness. It felt like a lot of ugly crying on DMZ and like very heavy lifting on Dope Sick, which was really important storytelling. I was so grateful to get into, but I was like, I need a comedy or I need vacation. It's getting heavy. And then to be on set every day was just with these remarkable talents, so I'm super, super obsessed with, and be able to be playful and have that kind of connection that I was able to build with Chase. He was just brilliant. Like, I think we're such a tag team in this. You know, everyone's so individual and we become a family, but he and I play off of each other so importantly. And he's so dynamic, like what a remarkable young talent and actor and just spirit. He's just really special. And so I felt so blessed every single day being on set, playing his mom and interacting with all these people who were our chosen family to help us all. It felt like, you know, really, really fun.
And you bring a light everywhere, but and I mean that. And you brought it on set as well. It's like the set would have spider webs everywhere and dust and stuff, and then there's Rosario, like, hi! This so like beautiful energy that just made everything always feel so light and fun. And I mean, everyone on this was just like just a treat to work with all these really funny people. And we have this great, fun material, and then we also get to go into a place of introspection and ask some deeper, harder questions at the same time. And then, you know, for me, it's also like a lot of running, so it was cool. It's like a nice little workout, running from ghosts, running through halls, a lot of running. So, it was a beautiful experience, super fun, and at times, it really made you ask important internal questions. So it felt therapeutic too, spiritually.
No, absolutely. I mean, listen, like I was saying, it is a hilarious movie, and of course it's an ensemble one, but like you guys were talking about, there is a heart to this. You know, it's a story about loss and about, you know, I think being haunted. There are a lot of different ways you can interpret that, right? Like, yeah, it could be a scary movie, but also we all have things that we've lost and people we've lost, and I feel like the moments, it really sits in those too. So talk to me too about being able to kind of tell a story like that, because I think with each character, there are entry points for the audience to kind of connect to in that way.
I think it's interesting when grief is a part of something, and you know, you almost still sometimes forget about that in a ghost story because it's all feels about the scares and, you know, and all it's supposed to be creepy and all of that kind of stuff and spooky, and it's a comedy, so it can get really lost in it. But I think the depth and the groundedness that the characters sort of working through their grief in it makes it very relatable, and I think it makes this film very special, actually. And I think it's going to be a surprise for a lot of audience members because it is something we all grapple with. It is something everyone is touched by. And so I thought the way that it was approached, and because it's approached by several different characters, I think you get a really healthy sort of expression of what that really is, whether you believe in ghosts or not, or you're spiritual or not, but what that truly is to love someone and to mourn them, and what the beauty of that, the celebration of that, the sadness of it, it's just all of it, the spectrum of emotions that we get to feel because we're alive. And to appreciate that. Like I was very moved by that watching the film, because I know, you know, it was definitely there in rehearsal and when we were filming it, but it's really gorgeously expressed. I think Justin did a beautiful job. When you start crying, there's a scene where he starts crying, and then Danny, and he's saying some really deep, beautiful stuff, and then Danny's expression as he's listening to him, like, it was also just a beautiful counterbalance of like, it starts to get really beautiful, whatever, and then it's just like, my God, and then it cuts, and so it was just constantly, it just really feels like you pivot all the time, and I loved that. Yeah, it's really good.
It was so funny. I mean, I was in a real like emotional state, and then he said that, and I started laughing. I'm like, bro, I'm glad that they took the camera off. But it was perfect because that's how life is. It's tragic, it's funny, it's fun, it's hard, it's all of these different things, and it's thrilling. And that's what this is. It's thrilling. And it's like the ride. It's like life is a ride, really. And it's like the reason why we like rides is because they're dangerous. It's because they're scary. It's because there's a chance. They're not dangerous necessarily, but they feel like they can be dangerous. Yeah. And that is what makes them fun. And that's what makes this fun. And us interacting with our own mortality is sometimes fun to think about, strangely. And so I think this movie takes those concepts and just puts them all together and makes this fun, thrilling, strange, weird, big, loud, beautiful, and sometimes slightly terrifying movie. And it was a real treat to be a part of.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it has all those elements, just like you guys are saying. And then plus, too, it has those great nods to the ride. So talk to me a little bit, too. Like, I've ridden it a bunch, and I felt like I was able to spot so many different little moments that I think are going to be so fun for, this is a ride that people have loved for decades now.
Yeah, my friend Cody Rhodes is a wrestler, American Nightmare, and he is obsessed. He would send me videos of like behind the scenes, did you know, and had they moved the tombstones because of this and that. I was like, dude, why do you know this? And he's like, no, I watched like documentaries about it. I'm like, really? People were like super obsessed with this ride. And I think that's one of the reasons where people are going to be so happy about this, because it's really true to it. And that's, I think the distinction from the other film, so it isn't a remake in that sense. Like, this is a totally different experience. And so I'm excited for folks, especially my friends whose kids have been watching the PG film, who are now getting old enough to watch this one. So it's going to be really great.
Yeah, we ain't new to this, we true to this.
Yeah.
But it's also a new take. It's a
Very new.
It's a whole new thing, a whole new story. And now we have so much, like, our technology is just so much different, and our ability to do things on cinema. And even performance has evolved so much that we're really thankful for those that came before us to allow us to have the space to build and do new exciting things. So we are looking forward to leaving another landmark for people to look back on and say that they were able to enjoy that moment. It really is a experience like moment, like a ride. I think people should really see this in theaters, because it has that feeling like you're immersed into it and you get like pulled into it. So go see it on the biggest screen and the loudest place you can see it, because this is the kind of movie to do that.